Oi! I have to say it, but it's the best fish restaurant I ever tried. Bungalows, mobile homes you can rent. Coffee bars and bar, and enjoy this view while sipping a coffee. I think pretty okay. Hello everyone. Today we moved a little bit outside of Split. We are roughly 7-8 kilometers south of Split in the small village called Stobreč, which has been around for many years. Actually, the city was founded before Split. It was a Greek colony back in, I don't know how many 100 years before Christ. And today we're gonna check this city out because it has evolved from being a sleepy little city with some people fishing to actually become a very interesting touristic city. More and more people are staying in this place. So let's see what it has to offer. Maybe if you're going to Split, this could be an alternative place to stay. So follow me around. And the city of Stobreč is of course located in a bay here. On this side of the bay we have Stobreč. On the other side of the bay we have the next city called Podstrana. We are of course also going to visit that one in a video. And as you see, they have a nice seaside promenade, at least with the palms. But where we're walking now, there's already a project finished to renew all of this, to bring it up to 2025, 26. But I think they're missing some approvals to get started with. So you might, if you come here, you might find constructions going on here, but it's only with the intention to make it even better. Sandy bottom here, so if you like that, you can go for a dip here. Where we came in now here with the main road, you drive along on this one where you see all the cars are parked. Mostly on the other side there's restaurants and coffee bar. And then you come to this central place, which we are walking up towards now. And basically you would turn the car and go the other way if you have to go to back. There is some small roads leading back to Split also up at the other end. But there's a lot of construction work going on there, so they're not ideal today. So what we're actually walking towards now is the old peninsula, the old town, which is located on a peninsula. So we're gonna go up to that one and we're gonna have a walk around that one and then come back down to the center here. Look how nice it is you have so many palms here. And if they get this fixed up to be a really nice promenade, better walking areas, whatever they could figure out to do. And then down at the end you have the campsite, which we are also visiting. So I think it could be really, really nice. I think the main issue Stobreč have now is parking. I think also there's various projects to solve that. So I think they're really serious with keep building this to become a more and more interesting spot for spending a holiday. And what's of course the first indicator that you're in a touristic town, you find restaurants everywhere around. And we will see a lot of them. I have a few specifically I will like to show you later because they are really good, especially if you like fish. One of the small beaches, and you can walk down here, but we're actually going to continue. Yeah, and the original name of the city was, if I can recall it correctly, Epedium. That was when it was a Greek colony, and that was actually way before they started thinking about Split. At that time, there was two, well actually there was three, but this one here, and Croatia on the mainland also, and then you had of course Stobreč on Island Var, if you've seen our video from there. I see beach area everywhere around, but mostly concrete and rocks in this area. Nice. The peak of the peninsula, and if we could walk straight, we would actually walk directly to Split here. You can do that, but not so easy nowadays. But it will become cocktail and wine bar. Not bad. See, I got completely confused about the cocktail bar because cocktails, wine, you know. But this was one of the restaurants. Really great fish restaurant hidden up here, Epitium. When I went to Epitium, so all the cars are parking here and it's always full. So they would just stack the cars, and when you need to get out, you know, or somebody else needs to come out, they will come and pick you up. You need to move your car. So also here, you can run down and be on the concrete here, have a swim. But now we're actually heading to, I think, one of the nicest beaches in town. I think one of these used to be the school. I'm not sure it's still the school. And somebody told me that they're gonna make that, they're gonna make some changes and they're gonna make one of these into a community building. That one, they renovated that really nicely with the stone around the windows. As you can see, clear indication, don't drive here with a car. I think this looks pretty inviting. So really nice Pebble Beach. This is the South Beach in Stobreč. So you can't see, maybe you can see it far out. You see all the rocks over in that direction. So they are building a basically, it's a big project which has been going on in the region, in Split, and the city is connected to Split. They're making a new sewer system and connecting to a cleaning facility. And basically from Split, there's now going to be, in connection with that, also made a walking path all the way out here. And it is still unclear, but I think they're going to prolong it. It's anyway going to connect somewhere to the road out here in Stobreč, which means this is a no car zone. So once this is finished, if you stay out here and you want to go to Split, or for the matter, you know, if you stay in Split and want to visit Stobreč, you can now go along the water all the way, or you saw the next bike station down in the city, hop on a bike, rent a bike, and ride with the bike all the way to Split without being worrying about cars, you know. So fantastic when that's gonna be finished. And that's gonna be actually next year in summer. They are working a lot on it to get it finished, so I have no doubt that they will manage actually before the season next year. And we will soon head back to the center. There's just one, the restaurant I mentioned earlier. Just want to show you where it is. The entrance here will take you down in the basement to Konobar Nikola. And that's a fish restaurant. And I have to say it, but it's the best fish restaurant I ever tried. Just to put some context, I love grilled fish, white fish. I love shrimps, but that's pretty much it, what I like in terms of fish. I came here, one of the times I went here, the owner was there. He said, you know, what are you gonna have for a starter? We said, you know, I'm not too much to fish. And one of the other guys said, don't worry, I'll make something. He came with 7 different types of fish as tapas. It was the most fantastic thing I ever had, so definitely. Yeah, and if you're walking around in Stobreč like we are doing and you think now it's time for a coffee, like we just thought now, go to this one, Cafe Bar Solar, and enjoy this view while sipping a coffee. I think pretty okay. And as you see to the right, it's just next to the beach we visited earlier. I would say quite okay. Not the worst I've seen. Not the worst I've seen.
Yeah.
This is what you call living next to the sea. we're back to the center, or the main part of Stobreč. And of course, what do they put in the middle of the center? Bus stop, which is quite good because from here, you have buses every half an hour to Split. It takes you probably around, depending on the traffic, I would say somewhere, maybe count 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes if the traffic is bad to get into Split. And it's rock bottom cheap. If you use the promenade Split app, it's €1.25. So, I mean, you can't say anything to that. So easy to get back and forth. Of course, you can also use the option I mentioned before when I showed you the beach. They're going to have a seaside promenade where you can take a next bike. There's a next bike station somewhere here in the area also. Yeah, somewhere over here where you can rent a bike. Also, it works via an app. It's also quite cheap. So definitely options. You don't need to depend on a car. And of course, if you stay out here, the main option is apartments. There's a few smaller hotels also, but mainly apartments. So fairly cheap compared to, at least cheaper than Split. And what we're going to visit now, we're going to go out and visit the campsite because, of course, if you're not a regular camper having tents and etc., you can still go to the campsite because they have a lot of mobile homes and stuff. So we're going to go out and check that out. So now we walked along the river to the east. So we have the old town basically behind me. And we walk down towards camping Stobreč, camping Split. But before we get there, I just want to show you there's the beach. I mean, this beach basically connects and go all the way around the campsite. But this part is not within, let's say, the camping area yet. So this is basically also everybody staying here. Lots of people staying in Stobreč in apartment use this beach. And maybe just to mention before we go into the campsite, on the other side of the road, if you're looking to do some exercise while you're out here, over here is several pickleball courts, and inside the hall over there you have what's it called, paddle. You can play over there. So no excuse not to get some exercise during your holiday. Now we are back at the campsite, which is basically close to the main road. And we're gonna go in here. See a nice sign, camping Split, small supermarket. So I remember when I moved to Split, it was way smaller, but it really developed, to a pretty big camp. How many are we? 271, no, actually 296 plots plus some tent sites. So over 300 different plots. And the area down here where we came in, I think this is mainly the area where we're going to find mobile homes and stuff. So if you don't come with your own tent or what do you call it, a mobile home, you basically have option to pick one of these to stay in. So I think if we go in here, 16 to 33, this is where you find bungalows, mobile homes you can rent. Quite neat how they made it. Really neat. I know they used to have also a lot of people who are staying out here who used to have whole year plots. I'm not sure if it's that common anymore, but it used to be. And then you're basically down at the beach. Whee! This was a little bit slippy. I survived. Yeah, then we basically see the whole bay here. Stobreč Bay. Pretty nice. They really made it neat also here with these houses. Wow. Wow. Oh, that's definitely a restaurant. Must be. Oh. Yeah, I saw this enormous amount. That's what I just wanted to go to the end here to see it. Oh, coffee bar with a view, for sure. Probably, I don't know, maybe a fisherman came in or something like that, since there's so many here. Wow. Or did just like the calm water in this bay? Who knows? But anyway, you can see the beach continues all the way around and keeps going out there. So plenty of options. This one seems to go to the beach. Not sure. What if it takes us around? Oh, there's actually a walking path here around. Okay. So now we're in the area where people actually come with their own tents. Yeah, and it basically goes all the way out to the main road. But we are, so this is the numbers. Yeah, so you see up till number 314. But all of this area, I'm not gonna go, we're not gonna go out there because this is basically just like the area we just went through where you have people camping. So it's basically the same. There's nothing more than what we already saw. So now we're going to something called TTS, which is mostly, I would say, an industrial area or trade area south of Split. But they also use this place to build a few interesting spots, and we're going to visit one place which I think would bring a lot of joy to many people. We're going to go to Luda Baba, which is a place where you can drive go-karts. So as you see, there's already a race going on. I think this is the second. There's two places you can do go-kart in Split. One is at one of the shopping malls, I think City Center 1, and the other place is here. And I think this track is somewhat bigger, so to my opinion, maybe the most fun. Yeah. And you can do these, you can go out here and I think you can drive 10 minutes, but you can also, if you're multiple people, you can do some, I just think they call it Grand Prix races, where, you know, you do qualifying with time, and then you do a race. And if you're really a lot of people, you can do semi-finals, final, and this kind of stuff. Anyway, I will put all the information on the website and also a link so you can look up all the information about Luda Baba. Out of my head, I would say, you know, per person, maybe it's 20 euro for 10 minutes or something like that. But don't hang me up on that. No, but we are definitely going to put all the information on the website so you can check it out, exactly how it works out here. But now we actually saw now they just started a real race. So probably when we came, they were doing the qualifying, and now they're doing a real race. This must be for the kids. So actually you cross the bridge here, and this is where there's kids go-kart. I was wondering all the time where it couldn't be the big go-karts. No. So this must be probably they're covered up over there or something like that. But this would be where that takes place. And I see they have coffee bar also here and other stuff for playing around. So if you're here with smaller kids, both the adults and the kids can enjoy. So this was basically Stobreč. I hope you got an impression of this small village near Split. Consider it maybe as an alternative place to stay. It's really cozy, nice. If you enjoy the video, please give it a like, follow our channel, and till the next one. Thank you very much.